Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Montana 6 from our Deluxe collection. This is a large family tent which sleeps up to 6 people, and it's tunnel design tent as well. The bedrooms are situated across the back and there are 2 in there. We then have a large sealed area in the front here as well, which we'll show you in detail shortly. With the tent being in our Deluxe collection, you'll find that the material that we're using in here is our Outex 5000. So this is a premium quality taffeta polyester material that's been PU coated on the inside, and it also has fully taped seams throughout as well. So the 5000 part, that represents what the hydrostatic head is here, so totally waterproof no matter what the rainfall here. The fly sheet that we're using on here has been UV treated, which ensures much better protection under sunlight, making sure that the tent is going to last a good long time. In terms of a frame, we have a steel frame from front to back here, so that creates a really solid, strong and stable structure, and that's accentuated because we use our innovative wind stabilizer system on this tent as well. I'll just show you now how that works. At the top and at the bottom of each pole, you'll find that we have these Velcro tabs, so when you're setting the tent up, we just need to simply wrap this around the pole like this, at the top and at the bottom. This is then where we have the guy lines attached, and when we pull the guy lines out and peg them into position, that brings the entire fly sheet much tighter up against the frame and makes it much more stable. We have tested this tent to withstand pretty high wind, so you should be safe to know that even in really bad weather, whether it be wind or rain, you're going to be well protected within this tent. The guy lines themselves are all luminous guy lines, so they are easy to see when it's a little bit darker, and they each have their own retainer as well, so when it comes to packing down the tent, we can simply just wrap the guy lines up and pop them into these so that the next time you come to use it, these are going to be easily accessible and you're not going to waste a lot of time having to untie a whole bunch of guy lines that are stuck together. We then also have our aero-effective ventilation on this tent, so that's where we have this sleek and streamlined vent along the side, and there's more on the other side as well. Underneath here, here is a mesh panel, and that's going to allow cool fresh air into the tent. Of course, that's going to reduce the amount of condensation within there as well. If it gets a little bit too cold or too chilly, these are easy to remove. You just simply take the Velcro tabs out like this and then press down here, and that should keep you a little bit warmer and more cozy inside the tent. So if we come around the front, I'll just highlight we do have large windows all the way around this tent. That's going to certainly flood it with light and make it feel nice and spacious, which you will see in a second once we're inside. But first of all, I just want to talk about the front door that we have on here. And the first thing to say actually is it's a really good size front door, so easy to get all of your kit in and out of the tent, and of course makes it much more easily accessible in general. The door itself is of course totally waterproof, and it does have a large window on there as well, so even when that's closed you'll still get good views out of the tent. And we do try and weatherproof this as best we can as well, because we have all the way around the side of the door a storm flap on here which actually covers the zip. So when the door is zipped closed, it sits in behind this cover here. And what I just want to highlight as well is the detail that we go to ensure that this stays waterproof. We actually tape all the seams in here as well. So it is a D-door style, so that's just in terms of the shape of it here, and that allows you to roll it to the side instead of rolling it up the way, which is just a little bit easier to handle. The front door then also has a separate mesh door at the back here, which can be zipped closed individually, so you can leave this front door open but close over the mesh to get much better ventilation within the tent as well. So when we step back into the main living section of the tent, one thing that should be quite apparent in here is just how much space we have. We have quite a lot going on in here just now. There's a couple of chairs, a large table, a kitchen unit over here, but there's still plenty of space around here. Lots of head height within the tent as well. I'm about 1.95 meters, and you can see above me there's still plenty of space here. We have a lantern hanging point just above me in a good central location within the tent, so if you do have a lantern that can be hung, it's a great place for it. And then coming away from that, what you will find is we have some cable tidies, so if it's an electric lantern or electric light up there, then you can keep the cables nice and tidily stowed away. And then these lead down to where we have our cable entry point at the bottom, so you can run electrics into the tent without having to unzip the door. So while I'm here, I just want to highlight a great feature of the Montana 6, which is this porch area on the side. It's easy to set up. It's just a single alloy pole on the outside that just goes through the pole sleeve and then pegged out to the side there, and that gives you that full rain safe entrance. You can see here it's covering the sealed area of the tent. It also then has a detachable bathtub ground sheet in there, so you can take off your wet shoes and boots and things like that before stepping into your sealed area. The area in here, as I say, there is sealed, so from front to back and side to side it's a fully sealed ground sheet, so that's going to keep things nice and cosy and well protected within the tent. It is bathtub in style as well, so you can see at the edge here that it does come up around the edges, and that's going to stop drafts, dirt, dust and sand, and more importantly hopefully keep out those unwanted creepy crawlies as well. So the tent actually still has 2 side doors within here as well, each of which have also got mesh ventilation doors which can be zipped down into place, as well as our outside waterproof doors. So with a front door and 2 side doors with full mesh panelling on there, you're certainly getting a great amount of ventilation within the tent. So as I mentioned earlier on, the tent has plenty of windows around here, allowing lots of light into the tent, making it feel nice and spacious. If you do want a little bit more privacy though, each window has its own curtain, which you can just see behind here. We have rolled away at the moment. What you can do though is bring it halfway up if you want, just for a little bit more privacy, or of course you can completely close it as well with these toggle points towards the top. Also, while we're here, I'll just highlight on here, this is the mesh panel that I mentioned earlier that corresponds with our outside ventilation panels. At the back is where the bedrooms are, and as I said before, this tent can sleep up to 6 people, split across 2 bedrooms here. A really nice feature on here is that these bedrooms actually come pre-attached, so the first time you pitch the tent, they're already in place for you. It's a job that you don't need to worry about, they're already in. How they're in is using our wave-shaped hanging point system across the top here, so this is where we have this curved mesh across the top, which of course gives it a really stylish look, but it also has a functionality as well of taking off any stress from the top seam of the bedroom. Some other features on here then, we have some handy storage pockets on the outside. We also have then some storage pockets down on the inside of both bedrooms on either side. So that's going to be great for smaller possessions, things like phones or chargers and books and things like that. Across the back you'll see there's a large ventilation panel which corresponds to outside ventilation on the fly sheet. And here I just want to highlight that we do have a full zippable divider between the 2 bedrooms, which gives you pretty much as much privacy as you're going to get. If you do want to open that up, of course you can just zip it open to create one large bedroom across the back if you want. We also then have our universal inner, which is where we have the zip down the middle here, and we'll just show you now how that works. So there are a number of optional extras that are designed to go with the Montana 6, which would include a fleece carpet like this one here for the living area, just giving you a bit more comfort. There's also a footprint available to go under the ground sheet, which is going to give the ground sheet of the tent itself much better protection. It'll keep it clean and dry on those wet and muddy days as well. We then also offer a large extension for the front of the tent and also an awning that can go on here as well. So there you have it then, that's all the features of the Montana 6 from our Deluxe collection. Thank you very much for watching.